stop everything you're doing right now and listen to me. What I'm about to share with you in the next 10 minutes could literally be the difference between life and death for someone you love. Maybe even yourself. Picture this. You're having your morning coffee when your spouse suddenly looks confused. Their smile seems off. They're trying to tell you something, but the words are coming out all wrong. You have about 3 minutes to make a decision that will determine whether they walk out of the hospital on their own 2 feet or never walk again. Every single day, every 40 seconds in fact, someone just like you or someone you care about has a stroke. And here's what terrifies me most. Most people have absolutely no idea what to look for until it's too late. But you're about to become different. You're about to learn something that could make you a hero in someone's life. By the time we're done here, you'll know exactly how to spot the 5 critical warning signs that scream stroke. And more importantly, you'll know exactly what to do when every second counts. I'm talking about real, practical knowledge that could save your neighbor, your best friend, your spouse, or even yourself. So if you care about the people in your life, and I know you do, then comment "Save a Life" right now, and let's dive in. And please, hit that subscribe button for wise elderly tips, because this information is too important not to share. Face changes, the first red flag. Now, let me tell you about Margaret. She was my neighbor, getting ready for church on a Sunday morning, just like any other. Her husband walked into the bathroom and said something that probably saved her life. "Honey, your smile looks different." Margaret laughed it off. We all would, right? But when she looked in the mirror, she noticed it too. One side of her face seemed to be drooping slightly. She thought maybe she'd slept funny. Maybe it was just morning stiffness. Here's what Margaret didn't know that you're about to learn. When a stroke happens, it cuts off blood flow to the specific parts of your brain that control your facial muscles. This creates what we call facial drooping, where one side of your face becomes weak or numb, making it impossible to smile evenly. And here's the dangerous part. So many people dismiss this. They think it's fatigue, maybe dental problems, or they convince themselves they're imagining things. But stroke symptoms can come and go, which makes them even more deceptive. So here's your first life-saving test, and I want you to remember this. Ask the person to smile and show their teeth. Look carefully. Does one side of the face droop? Can you see the same number of teeth on both sides of their smile? If the answer is no to either question, you're looking at a possible stroke. Margaret's husband knew something was wrong, and that knowledge saved her life. Because he didn't dismiss it, because he trusted his instincts, Margaret got help in time. Arm weakness, the strength test. But facial drooping is just the beginning. Let me tell you about Robert. He was out in his garden, doing what he loved, when suddenly his right arm felt like it had completely fallen asleep. But this wasn't from lying on it wrong. This was different. He tried to lift his watering can, something he'd done thousands of times before, but his right arm felt incredibly weak and wouldn't cooperate. Robert thought maybe he'd just overdone it, maybe pulled something. That kind of thinking almost cost him everything. You see, when stroke strikes, it affects your brain's ability to send signals to your muscles, particularly on one side of your body. This creates sudden weakness or numbness in your face, arm, or leg, typically affecting your entire side from head to toe. Here's what's so dangerous. People like Robert attribute this to arthritis, overexertion, normal aging. But stroke-related weakness is sudden and severe, not the gradual ache you might expect from joint problems. So here's your second life-saving test. Have the person raise both arms above their head and hold them there for just 10 seconds. Watch carefully. Does one arm drift downward or fall completely? Can they keep both arms up equally? If one arm shows weakness, if it drifts down even slightly, you're looking at a stroke in progress. Don't wait. Don't make excuses. Don't hope it gets better. Robert's wife found him in the garden and noticed he was favoring his right side. She did this exact test I just taught you, and when his right arm immediately dropped, she called 911. That simple test, that 10 seconds of observation, gave Robert his life back. Speech and communication, when words fail. Now let's talk about something we use every single day without thinking. Our ability to communicate. Helen was having dinner with her son when she tried to ask him to pass the salt. But what came out was, pass the thing. She knew exactly what she wanted to say, but her brain and her mouth weren't cooperating anymore. Her family thought she was just tired. Sound familiar? We're so quick to dismiss these signs, and that's exactly what makes them so dangerous. When stroke damages the areas of your brain responsible for speech and language, it creates slurred speech, difficulty finding words, trouble understanding what others are saying, or speaking in ways that just don't make sense. And here's what's heartbreaking. The person having the stroke often knows exactly what they want to say, but they just can't get it out. Many families dismiss speech problems as tiredness, medication side effects, or even normal senior moments. But stroke-related speech issues are distinctly different. They happen suddenly, and they're more severe than anything you've experienced before. Here's your third life-saving test. Ask them to repeat a simple sentence like, "The sky is blue," or "You can't teach an old dog new tricks." Listen carefully. Is the speech slurred? Are the words mixed up or strange? Do they seem confused about what you're saying? Helen's son almost let slide. Almost. But something in his gut told him this wasn't normal tiredness. He asked her to repeat that simple sentence, and when she couldn't do it clearly, he called 911. That gut instinct, that willingness to trust what he was seeing instead of making excuses, saved his mother's life. The final warning signs. But we're not done yet. There are two more critical signs that people miss all the time. Frank was walking to his mailbox when he suddenly felt dizzy and stumbled, even though the sidewalk was perfectly smooth. At the same time, his vision became blurry, like he was looking through foggy glasses. Frank sat down, thinking it would pass. That's what we do, isn't it? We wait, we hope, we make excuses. But stroke doesn't wait for us to feel ready. Stroke can affect the parts of your brain that control balance, coordination, and vision. This creates sudden dizziness, trouble walking, loss of balance, or vision problems like blurriness, double vision, or even complete vision loss. Watch for these signs: sudden trouble walking, unexpected falls, severe dizziness that comes out of nowhere, or any sudden vision changes. 6. And here's one more that people often miss: sudden, severe headaches with no known cause. Frank's neighbor saw him sitting on the curb, looking confused and dizzy. Instead of assuming he just needed to rest, she called 911. That call saved Frank from permanent disability. Now, here's the most important part: what you do when you recognize these signs. Remember this acronym: FAST. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911. When Sarah noticed her neighbor showing 3 of these warning signs, she didn't hesitate. She called 911 immediately, stayed calm, and followed the dispatcher's instructions. Because she acted fast, her neighbor received treatment within that critical time window and made a full recovery. Listen to me carefully. With stroke, every minute matters because brain cells are dying. Those life-saving treatments must be given within 3 to 4.5 hours, but the sooner the better. Never wait to see if symptoms improve. Never drive to the hospital yourself. Never assume it's something less serious. Call 911 first. Position the person safely on their side with their head elevated. Check their breathing. Be ready to tell emergency services exactly what symptoms you observed and when they started. I know this information might feel overwhelming, maybe even scary, but here's the truth: knowledge is power. You're not just protecting yourself anymore. You're becoming someone who could literally save a life. Practice the FAST test with your family this week. Share this video with someone you care about. Put 911 in your phone and make sure others know these signs too. If this information could help you or someone you love, please subscribe to Wise Elderly Tips and hit that notification bell. Share this video with someone who needs to know this. Which of these warning signs surprised you the most? Comment below and let me know. Your story might help someone else recognize the signs when it matters most. Stay alert, stay prepared, and remember, you might be the person who makes all the difference in someone's emergency. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video with more life-saving health tips.